everyone, my name's Christina. I'm happy to see you all here today to see this next review from KitGuru. So we are looking into the Thermaltake Level 20 gaming mouse today. This mouse has blown me away in some ways, so stick around to find out why. You can get your hands on this little device for about £61.25 in the UK at the moment, at the time of this video of course. And as always, we're going to jump straight in with the packaging as it's kind of the first thing that everyone sees. We have a classic black box with a large depiction of the item on the front, as well as some main features along the bottom. On the back we have a little more information on 3 of the features here, system requirements and contents, as well as some specs in multiple languages. Upon further fiddling, we did find that the box has a front panel, and that opens to reveal the mouse inside a plastic mould. On the inside of this panel, we can see more information in regards to button functionality, as well as the fact that it has 16.8 million RGB colour spectrum. Let's get inside and check out what we have here. So there is a box inside a box. Nice and easy to pull out though, with this little handy cutout in the back here. Under the cutout is a fabric carry bag and the lead neatly wound up in the top here. Now, I was a little bit stumped as how to open this thing, but with a bit of pulling around, I did find that the front section pulls out to reveal a much anticipated level 20 gaming mouse. So we also have some stickers, a multilingual quick start guide, and a warranty booklet stating a warranty period of 2 years. So let's look at what the thing looks like. So if you've seen me in KitGuru previous videos, you will know that I like me some braided cable. This cable is super thin and the kinks literally push out. However, I bet you thought it was going to be all sunshine and rainbows, didn't you? But sadly, the kinks are made almost just as easily, and let's face it, you don't want to be running your hands up and down a cable every 5 minutes. Looking at this mouse top down, you can see all the clear plastic detailing ready for that RGB to shine through, with a speckled grey on black casing. It really does look great even before the RGB is turned on. The sides have these plastic grips with a repeated triangle design. I've said it before and I will say it again, I like rubber grips. And to me, it makes the mouse feel a little bit more premium. And to be honest, the plastic coupled with the fact that this mouse is quite lightweight makes it feel a little bit cheap to me personally at least. We will go into how the grips feel and perform a bit later. Some of you out there though, I know, would love a lightweight feel mouse with plastic grips instead of rubber on the sides, so let us know down in the comment if that is you. Underneath there are 2 whacking great PTFE feet on the top and bottom of the mouse. Now, I felt that whacking great really was the only way to justify the size of these feet. I mean, they are huge. I didn't feel that there was any more grip added to the bottom of the mouse or anything despite them being bigger. I imagine this was probably more just of an aesthetic choice. I didn't feel that these gave any more glide or anything else despite them being so big though. I imagine it was just more of an aesthetic choice. All in all, quite a simple design on the bottom here, not too much fuss and stuff going on. Sometimes you see a bit of a text overload, etc., but I'm pleased to see that this is not the case on this mouse. I know it doesn't really matter because you don't see it, but it's still nice. Before we switch this beast on and watch that RGB fire up, let's talk about the buttons. There are 8 buttons symmetrically placed for this ambidextrous use. 2 of these are see-through, which again makes me excited for that RGB switch on. And it also leaves the design on the sides where the clear plastic is running along the side uninterrupted. It flows so nicely into the sides of the mouse. The mouse wheel is also clear on either side to let that light shine through. So, okay, without further ado, let's plug this thing in. Bam! Straight away, these RGBs are super bright, like jumping out in my face with this pulse effect as soon as you plug it in. The sides, the wheel, the logo, the trim, it looks fantastic. You may have noticed for some items previously on KitGuru, we have turned the lights off to really get that feel for the RGBs, and we will do that here, but these work really well even with our studio lighting. Of course, they look even better in that spectacular darkness. Now, I think that Thermaltake have done a fantastic job in my opinion, not to make this look tacky, because it could have very easily become tacky. The design isn't too over the top and it provides a really satisfying amount of RGB. I'm still starstruck by those RGBs, I love them. So we will look at the software and extra features a little bit later, but let's have a chat about how I felt about this mouse and how I felt that it felt. So grip wise, I prefer a palm grip, and this was super comfy for me. Great support, no pinky or thumb drag, and even though this isn't the smallest mouse, being 128.35 by 67.21 millimeters, my little hands fit nicely around it, and it isn't too far of a stretch for my fingers. I found all grips to be just as comfortable, because I thought, well, we'll try them out just to see. And the grips on the side, okay, you may have convinced me here. Plastic isn't all that bad. To be fair, they are all you would need for grip. I'm really surprised that these grips work just as well as rubber, and I have felt quite a few mice in my time, I'll let you know. So this is a big win for Thermaltake here. The material on the body itself is kind of a matte finish, and I really like that. It doesn't seem to attract grease or sweat, and it is really good for grip too. Now, it was all going really well, wasn't it? However, there is one thing that massively inconvenienced me. The buttons on the top on each side, I kept pressing them accidentally with my ring finger on my right hand. I am not ambidextrous by any means, but I thought I would try it with my left hand just to see if there was any difference. And as I expected, the same thing happened on both hands. I do understand that they were trying to keep this ambidextrous symmetrical theme running here, not only for usability, but also for looks. However, I would have really liked to have seen maybe a removable button with a replaceable cap, or maybe even just making the thing slightly higher to accommodate the mouse buttons being moved up. The buttons themselves, so actually not really overly clicky on the left and right mouse button, but this could be seen as a positive or a negative. It really is down to your opinion. To me, I like my buttons clicky. However, the buttons on the side are way more clicky and satisfying. The wheel is really smooth. I love the amount of resistance as well. I found it to be really precise and accurate, even when I was panicking to change my weapon before getting shot. So we've seen how this mouse shines. We've talked about how it feels. So let's have a look at the software. We have the iTake gaming engine, which is used for individual devices or to sync other Thermaltake peripherals. Then there is the RGB Plus, which syncs anything that is branded by Thermaltake, ranging from things like coolers, fans, VGA, water blocks, and more. Not only that, but it works with Razer Chroma and Razer Synapse. And yes, and there's like 3 things that this is incredible. I'm so excited about this. It works with Alexa, so this is off the bat pretty darn impressive. The fact that it works with so many different things opens up so many customizable options, and the fact that people don't have to like convert their whole setup to integrate this mouse is fantastic. It's really quite of a selfless feat as well from both Razer and Thermaltake to share this compatibility. So well done there, guys. Let us start with the main software, so the iTake gaming engine. When I first installed this, I did find that it wouldn't open straight away. However, running as admin did fix this. Upon opening up the software, we can see that Profile 1 is generically select, and below you can program your 8 buttons. You can also choose left or right-handed. On the drop down underneath, you have the key assignment. On the left is where you can quick access and save profiles and stuff. Next, we have macros, pretty self-explanatory. Lighting is the next tab, so you can see this mouse has 8 pre-programmed effects. You can also choose zones and brightness, or you can sync all areas. On the right is your recognizable color wheel for you to play with, and you can play with that 16.8 million color range, so I'm sure you'll find something you like. If not, you're extremely picky. Like I said before, this does work with RGB Plus, which is if you have any Thermaltake components, you can use it there. And also it works with Razer Chroma and Razer Synapse 3. To make this work with Synapse and Razer Chroma, you have to go to settings in the top right of iTake gaming engine software and click this switch here that enables Razer Chroma. Then it will appear in Synapse as another device. From here you can access quick effects, advanced effects, and the Chroma Studio. I would have loved to have tested this with Alexa, but unfortunately we don't have one to give it a go here. So if you do have an Alexa and you can try this one at home, let us know down in the comments whether you found that voice commands were useful. It does seem pretty interesting to me, so let us know. So before we go to the pros and cons, we need to cover just some other of the main features of the mouse that are pretty cool. This mouse has a Pixar PMW3389 sensor. You often see online debates around this and the PMW3366. But they are both very popular as they deliver some pretty impressive response and tracking rates. Full specs of this and any other devices we've covered previously on Kit Guru can be found on the Kit Guru website. While we are being specky though, it is worth a mention that the Thermaltake Level 20 gaming mouse has Omron switches with a whopping 50 million click lifespan. I don't know about you, but there was a lot of information in this review. So to absorb this, let's go into the pros and cons and round this up a little bit. I love the way this mouse looks. The price is incredible for what you're getting. The RGB is super bright and really well placed. All grip styles are really comfortable. It is ambidextrous. Plastic grips are actually really effective on this mouse, and that is really something huge for me to say because, as you guys know, I do generally prefer rubber grips. Great wheel resistance, so much choice for software and compatibility, and the fact that it works with Alexa too, I mean, come on, there's not much more you could ask for, right? Great specs in regards to the switches and the sensor, a massive lifespan click-wise, and a 2-year warranty. Some of the cons, okay, this is a pretty big one, and to be honest, it probably would make me not buy it. The buttons are really easy to accidentally push on those top sides there. The left and right click, not overly clicky, it's not a huge thing though. The cable is easy to kink and unkink because of how thin it is, so could be a positive or a negative really. My conclusion is that I really can't say much bad about this device, but there is a big black dot on a white page here with that button placement. That is really the biggest gripe with this mouse, and I think it is quite an important one too. Other than that though, the Thermaltake Level 20 gaming mouse really does feel, look, perform brilliantly. The RGB is almost out of this world and the price is incredible. I would go as far as to say that there are some real top-end features here for a mid to bottom-end pricing range. And let us know if you agree in the comments. Whilst you are there, ring that notification bell and subscribe if you haven't already. I know you guys appreciate some good tech humour, so make sure you check out our merch, and for daily tech news, check out our Kit Guru website. It's been a pleasure. I'm counting on you to be there next time. I'm Christina. This is Kit Guru. See you around.